Joining us now, NBC News national political reporter Ben Camisar and New York Times White House correspondent, chief White House correspondent Peter Baker. Ben, go deeper into the numbers for us. What does this poll show about the economy and inflation and other aspects of the president's first 2 months in office?
I think it really shows the challenges for President Trump, but also sort of his strengths. This is a president, he told our colleague Kristen Welker back in December, I won on prices and I won on immigration. And if you look at those two issues, it really sort of tells the story of his presidency. The majority of Americans are so far giving him a positive approval rating on immigration, as we're seeing basically total unanimous Republican support around the president. That's the good. The bad is on that issue of prices and the economy. This is the first time that we've polled Donald Trump having a majority of people disapproving of his handling of the economy. This is an issue that was supposed to be his strength, so it's one that's becoming a little bit of a weakness for him in the polls now, and that should be an alarm bell for President Trump and some folks in the White House.
Yeah, we can see 55% are not satisfied with his handling of the issue of inflation. Ben, what about DOGE and all the federal layoffs that we've been covering, the chaos in all these different agencies that are seeing a slash and burn approach?
Yeah, and so again, this is one of those there's two pieces here, right? So voters broadly think the idea of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse in government, they're relatively supportive of that idea. You can see right there, 46% say that DOGE is broadly a good idea, 40% say a bad idea. But where the rubber hits the road, where the issues are for the Trump administration, are both the speed in which they're doing it and the relatively negative feelings people have about the titular face of DOGE, Elon Musk. We asked them a question, basically, asking about DOGE, and you saw a majority of people either said it should stop or it should keep going, but we need to slow things down. It was really a concern about the sort of slapdash, sort of haphazard feeling that some folks may have about it. So there is promise for the Republican Party here. There is an indication that people want to see this, but they're having issues with the approach and with that speed.
So much has been surveyed in this new polling. So let me ask you, Peter, about what this polling shows about Democrats. There's a warning here as we learn that Democratic leaders Schumer and Jeffries just met over the weekend amidst some of that infighting we were reporting on last week, specific to that Republican legislation that passed. And as they're trying to figure out how best to mount an opposition to President Trump, you can see 55% surveyed viewed Democrats negatively, just 27% positively. Peter, that's a historic low for the NBC News poll, the worst ever recorded score for a political party in this poll. So where do Democrats go from here?
Yeah, I think it typifies or exemplifies their conundrum at this point. They don't know where they're going right now. You've got part of the Democratic Party saying, fight, fight, fight. We need to stand up. What Trump is doing is not just dangerous, but in many cases illegal or unconstitutional. And then you've got the other part of the Democratic Party saying, wait a second, let him self-destruct. We need not to look like we're obstructionists and let him, do what he's going to do, because eventually people will come to see that as damaging to the economy. And we don't want to give him an excuse to scapegoat us when he's the one responsible. And I think that, that a lot of that negativity toward Democrats is among Democrats right now, right? The people who are disapproving of the Democratic Party, in many cases, the reason why it's gone down are because Democrats are souring on their leadership, not sure where the party is going, not sure what they stand for at this point. Now, the positive news for Democrats, despite this really bad number for them, is that if you do the hypothetical in your poll, the NBC poll, on a congressional midterm election a year and a half from now, they're still basically tied with the Republicans. I think it's 48 to 47% of Americans say they would prefer a Democratic Congress or House compared to a Republican House. So they're still competitive with the Republicans. It's just that a lot of Democrats aren't sure where their party is going and want to see some leadership.
Meantime, Peter, President Trump is going to head to the Kennedy Center board meeting this afternoon after he installed himself as its chairman and purged the board. Oh, to be a fly on the wall during that meeting. Just last week, Vice President Vance was booed when he and his wife went to the Kennedy Center. So why is the president so focused on the Kennedy Center?
Well, I think he was offended during his first term by some of the people who were chosen for the Kennedy Center honors, which happens every year. He never attended. Some of the honorees were openly anti-Trump. spoke out about him. And so it's kind of been something in his craw for a while now. Now that he's come back, he's decided to take his revenge by taking over the nation's premier arts center, national funded performing arts center. And I think he plans to, remake it in his own image. It'll be a MAGA center. And not only is he going to choose and have people around him choose who is performing there, he's now threatening to choose the honorees themselves, right? To basically have a hand in deciding which of the artists in the country are awarded this honor once a year. And I think that shows how much he is willing to use the power of the presidency to exact retribution and to assert control over so many elements of American society.